Well, this morning we're talking about spiritual connections, and we have mom and author Julia Roller here with us. She wrote the book, Mom Seeks God. Julia, thank you so much for coming in. We do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me about Mom Seeks God. This is sort of your spiritual journey after you became a mom, essentially.
Well, I knew that being a mom would change my life in a lot of ways, but I knew I would be tired and busy, but I didn't realize that being a mom would make me feel disconnected from God. Because in all the busyness and the feeling tired, I didn't feel like I had the quiet and the time to myself to pray or to do Bible study or to kind of engage in those practices that I in the past had connected to God with.
So, and I can totally understand the chaos that was your life at the time, having one son, and then you said you went on to have the second son, that it was like one more thing on your to-do list was to read your Bible or attend a Bible study. How did you sort of get past that being a chore and being something that you wanted to carve out time for?
You know, it's interesting. I was actually writing a book called A Year with God, and I started writing the line, in your daily prayer time, and I realized I don't really have any daily prayer time. I need to work on that. So I spent a year trying to practice 10 different spiritual disciplines, like prayer was one, and study and fellowship and service. And what I realized was the ones where, you know, I really didn't have to carve out 30 minutes of solid time where I could instead maybe take something away from my life. So when I was practicing silence, I was trying to have less noise.
With two kids in the house, I can't imagine how you made that a possibility.
Well, I realized that I was creating a lot of the noise because I was turning on the radio or the TV. I was listening to music a lot of the time. And so when I could turn that off, I could focus more on them, and I could listen for God's voice in my life. So that helped a lot.
During the commercial break, we had a conversation where you said sometimes turning off the exterior volume and focusing on your kids is really what God is asking us to do. Instead of sitting down and we think that we need to read chapter after chapter of the Bible, this may be the time in your life where that is your duty, that is your calling. Is that right?
Absolutely. And I feel like, yes, we think, oh, we've got to do this and do that, and we're just so full of guilt as moms. You know, we're worried and anxious, and we don't think we're doing a good enough job at anything. But I think often God just calls us to just be present with our children, you know, just enjoy spending that time with them and focusing on them. And that can be a spiritual practice. I mean, I think becoming a mom brought me so close to God in the sense that I learned to take the focus off myself and what I wanted, what I thought would make me happy, and place it on my sons, what they wanted, what they needed, how I could make them happy. And that brought me closer to God than anything else I tried.
For moms and dads who are listening and can totally relate to your story, what advice do you offer folks who are in the middle of the chaos of having small children?
Well, remember that it is, everyone always says it, but it's true. It is a season, and you can enjoy it that way, thinking that it won't always be this way. You won't always be changing diapers all day long and all night long sometimes. And this is a task that God has given us. I mean, God blessed us with these children. And so the tasks that we do to care for them, those are tasks that God has blessed, that are special in His eyes. And we can remember that. And another thing I think is just not to be so hard on ourselves. You know, just to give ourselves a little grace. You know, whose expectations are you trying to meet anyway? I don't think they're God's expectations when we're so filled with anxiety and worry. I think we're trying to meet other people's expectations, and we should remember we're not trying to please them, we're trying to please God.
Well, I think you've offered some fantastic advice for parents out there this morning that are listening, and I know I can certainly relate to the situation you were in a few years ago with your kids being really small. Now they're 4 and 7, so keep up the good work on being a mom and sharing your story as well. Again, the book is Mom Seeks God. You can pick it up on Julia's website, which is juliaroller.com. She has a fantastic blog there as well if you just like to hear what she has to say about a host of other topics. Julia, thank you so much for coming in. Have a happy Easter.
Thank you, you too.
All right, coming up next.